Imagine a world where every company and organization measures emissions differently. Some count only fuel use, others include electricity, and some ignore emissions altogether. That's happening right now. Hi, Norbert here. I'm energy engineer and GHG accountant. In this lesson, number 2, I explain how important standards are. For example, to gain the trust of climate skepticals. Why follow this course? In a couple of years, regulations will be stricter, even if some countries don't want these limitations anymore. How long will they continue in this opinion? There's a global scientific consensus that we humans are responsible. In the near future, the climate will be worse. So I believe, and I think also the world's insurance companies believe so. I hope that we will soon again on the same line. And then we have to move quick. Just like the firefighters that arrive late in a burning forest. And then you want to know how carbon credits work. Without a common standard, you can compare, track, or reduce emissions effectively. That was why the greenhouse gas or GHG protocol was created. It provides a clear, standardized way to measure and report greenhouse gas emissions, ensuring consistency and credibility across industries and governments worldwide. What is the GHG Protocol? The GHG Protocol is the world's most widely used framework for measuring and managing greenhouse gas emissions. Developed in the late 1990s by the World Resources Institute and the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, it has since become the foundation for corporate climate reporting. It is used by government, businesses, and organizations worldwide to ensure that emissions data are accurate, comparable, and verifiable. The GHG Protocol divides emissions into 3 categories, called scopes, based on their source and control. You remember it from the previous lesson, and I will treat it in more detail in the following lessons. Just one example of Scope 3 indirect emissions that I forgot to mention in the last lesson. I made last year this video after studying IKEA's GHG report on their website. This video is on my other channel about sustainable energy, and it tells about an energy-efficient light bulb that IKEA designed with a special view on the energy that these light bulbs would consume altogether in their lifetime over the whole world. Now, there you see that it can become complicated to count the whole carbon footprint and especially the difference with a baseline. And that is the level where you would be without any action. But complicated is not a reason for not doing it. In finance, everybody understands this. Let's do it also for a commodity that might become even more important than money, if the absence of it would bring us closer to a global catastrophe. Why does the GHG Protocol matter? The GHG Protocol isn't just a technical guide. It's the foundation for real-world climate action. Here's why it matters. In the first place, we have regulatory compliance. Many carbon disclosure laws, like in the EU, the CSRD, and in the USA, the SEC's proposed rules, and in the whole world, are based on the GHG Protocol. And then second, investor and consumer trust. Companies with a clear, standardized emissions report are seen as more transparent and responsible. And then third, political consensus. Without the trust in a system that is consistent and transparent, whole chunks of the world population will be scared of losing profit and power, and then we go back to the polarization of tribes. And then number 4, better decision making. With accurate emissions data, the businesses and governments, they can find the biggest opportunities for reduction and cost savings. Also on the market of carbon credits, the astute buyer understands that their market is not black and white and will adopt the 0 to 100% scale of quality to get value for their money. How the GHG protocol is used. Organizations use the GHG protocol to measure and report emissions consistently, set reduction targets in line with global climate goals, develop climate strategies that align with net zero ambitions. It also forms the basis for international initiatives like the Scientific-Based Targets Initiative or SBTI and corporate carbon pricing. GHG Protocol provides the rules for GHG measurement. Companies must measure their Scope 1, 2 and 3 emissions using the GHG Protocol before submitting targets to the SBTI. SBTI ensures that those measurements translate into science-aligned reduction targets, and that is, for example, the Paris Agreement 1.5-degree goal. Companies cannot set SBTI-approved targets without following the GHG Protocol standards. The GHG Protocol is more than just an accounting framework. It's the key to a low-carbon future. Understanding and applying it correctly ensures that emission reporting is credible, actionable, and also comparable across businesses and other organizations. In the next lesson, we'll break down Scope 1 emissions and how companies can track and reduce their direct greenhouse gas footprint. Stay with me as we continue our journey into GHG accounting. See you in the next lesson.